Here are 17 cruise buffet mistakes that people still keep making. Some of these can make you sick, and others will drive other passengers crazy. And some of these I have not heard anybody talk about. So let's go over these mistakes and the simple fixes that will keep you sane, safe, and satisfied. Now there's some simple rules that most people understand about buffets. Things like wash your hands, don't touch food with your hands, don't cough or sneeze on the food. All of these are common sense things, so I'm not going to talk about them here. Instead, let's talk about other things that are not as obvious. Ever seen a kid at the buffet lick something and then put it back in a serving dish?
I mean, literally, it's so gross.
Yep, that happens. Many young children haven't learned the proper etiquette yet. For older ones, well, that's a different story. Either way, children are not going to come up with proper behavior on their own. They need to be taught how to use utensils, practice good hygiene, how to make quick food decisions so that they don't hold up the rest of the line. So it's every parent's job to guide their children on that proper behavior and know when their children are mature enough to go on their own. Until then, make sure that you supervise your kids to the buffet so they don't make the rest of the mistakes that I'm about to cover. One of the most common mistakes I see all the time is people using the same serving utensil for multiple dishes. And it's not just about not wanting to have a smear of mac and cheese on your baked beans. It's actually a major allergy concern. There are many people who deal with food allergies or gluten intolerances, and this cross-contamination can lead to a serious health issue for them. Also, never place utensils back in the food where the handle touches the food. And if you do accidentally drop a utensil in the pan, don't just pick it up and lay it back correctly. Tell a staff member right away so they can replace the dish. Number 3 mistake is picking out parts of the dish. You know, getting that shrimp from the pasta dish or the meat from the stir fry. And it's not just about being fair to others, it's about keeping the dish balanced and appetizing for everyone. You know, you wouldn't take all the chocolate chips out of a cookie and leave everyone with the dough, or you wouldn't eat all the pepperonis of the pizza.
That's not right.
So ain't. I agree. Let's keep the buffet experience enjoyable for everyone. Number 4 mistake. Since we were kids, we all heard don't waste your food, and many people try not to do it intentionally. So here's a shocker. Many buffet foods look a lot better than they taste, and the opposite can also be true. So if you load up your plate, take one bite, and realize that the dish is spicier than a ghost pepper, it's all going to waste. So start with a small portion and then return for more of what you like. The exception to that rule is the mistake number 5. Okay, here's the deal. Once you've taken the food from the buffet, it's yours. It's not like a try before you buy situation here. So putting food back is a major no-no. It's not just gross, it's a hygiene nightmare. Think of it like using a tissue and then putting it back in the box. Nobody would want to deal with that. And that goes for non-food items too. Things like plates and cups of water, once you pick them up, just keep them. The first thing that people do that's pretty gross is bringing a used plate back to the buffet. Used plates carry the risk of contamination and can spread germs, and thankfully we don't have to do dishes on a cruise, so always grab a fresh plate when you go for seconds. Remember that the buffet line is for getting food and not for sampling it on the spot. Eating while in line is a fast track to spreading germs. I mean, you can wash your hands all you want, but snacking on food while you're standing in line before sitting down can transfer germs from your mouth to everything you touch. And this might seem like a no-brainer, but it's worth mentioning. After you've been touching utensils, condiments, and chairs, which none of them are usually sanitized regularly, it's a good idea to wash your hands or use hand sanitizer before you eat. Now, for an average person who's healthy, this will depend on what they're eating. If you're eating a bowl of cereal with a spoon, it might not be as important. But if you're eating finger-licking good barbecue chicken wings, come on, just think of it. People who are eating around you and are licking their fingers get up and go back to the buffet line and touch the same utensils. And even before COVID, getting norovirus was always a real damper on a cruise. The next set of mistakes is not going to make you sick, but could be rather upsetting. If you've paid for that fancy cappuccino or a nice cocktail, don't leave it on the table while you go back to get more food. Cruise staff are incredibly efficient at clearing tables in a buffet seating area.
I fear you're underestimating the sneakiness, sir.
So if you don't want your drink to disappear, either finish it first or take turns with your dining companions when you go in for seconds. And remember, if everyone at your table leaves at once, other guests have no idea if you're coming back or not, so they can claim your spot. And to avoid that, have one person stay at the table while others go get some food. It's a simple way to ensure that you don't lose your table, especially if the buffet is really crowded, like on embarkation day. Peak times at the buffet can be very hectic, so you often hear things like don't go to the buffet during busy hours and instead choose something like a cafe or pizza. But what if you don't want pizza and you want a big salad for lunch? Yes, that does happen. Some people eat salad on a cruise. But if you want to avoid the crowds, you can easily take your food to a lounger on a pool deck, or you can take it to your room for a quiet meal. And this can be a great option for late night snacks or a peaceful breakfast. So just because the buffet is crowded doesn't mean that you cannot enjoy a nice, relaxed buffet meal. However, if you do decide to stick around and eat in the seating area when it's busy on the buffet, it is courteous to leave the table so others can sit and eat once you're done. And this is especially important during those busy times like embarkation, when everybody is looking for a place to sit. So enjoy your food, have a quick chat, but then make way for others. Another mistake people make in a crowded buffet is hopping in the first line they see. But often, there are less crowded lines further down with the same offerings. Also, even on smaller ships nowadays, there's a large variety of food stations all serving different themes. So take a moment to survey the scene before jumping in line. Since it's really tempting to load up on those indulgent items, many cruisers overlook the healthier options like salads and fruits. Now, if it's a 3-night cruise, which is really just a 2.5-day cruise, considering that half of the day is embarkation day, most people could probably eat all the junk food they want with little ill consequences. But for longer trips, mixing in some healthy choices can keep you feeling better at the end of the vacation, and your body will thank you later. Also keep in mind that made-to-order stations offer freshly prepared dishes that are usually worth the wait. Whether it's a custom omelet at breakfast or personalized stir-fried at dinner, these stations can be a really good substitute for what's often much less appealing alternatives on the buffet. Most ships I've been on, the buffet is located right next to the pool deck. And additionally, many pool decks have some other eateries that you can just walk out of the pool, grab something to eat, and get back in the pool. So this creates a lot of confusion as to what you can or should not wear to the buffet. Luckily, the dress code is usually very relaxed in the buffet. You know, it's your basic shoes and shirts are required, but it does allow for swimwear cover-ups and flip-flops. Just don't go in a buffet barefoot with your swimsuit dripping all over the floor. It's not safe and it's bad hygiene. Finally, if you see somebody behaving badly in the buffet, like sticking their finger in a bowl of sauce or putting something back after it fell down, don't confront them directly. Confronting another passenger will usually get them offended and create an uncomfortable situation for everybody around. Instead, the best thing to do is alert a crew member who can handle it appropriately. It's really all about keeping the peace and maintaining hygiene. So the crew members, they can do the tough job and you can enjoy your meal without all the drama. Now, if you're debating between whether you should eat at the buffet or the dining room, watch this video next where I go over different things to consider to decide which one is best for you. And then check out this playlist for tips and secrets to get the best food experience on your cruise.